school, where the actual high school Christmas Carol is?
No,
Do not attempt to adjust your podcast player. We are
I have no
controlling the
laptop
transmission.
tonight, so, as you can see.
We're gonna wing
We
it.
are here to be your guide, helping you to explore local events, the
I
art
should have looked
scene,
and got dates
music,
in my mind, but I don't have
theater,
anything.
It is.
and
London posted
possibly
it on Facebook,
a
and that's
conspiracy
she
or two.
posted someone else.
All here on GCRX Radio and Podcast Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to In the Metro with your host, Chuck Hill, which would be me. And joining us, as always, the ever awesome Miss Kim Pearson.
Hello, hello.
And tonight we are welcoming Mr. Ethan Crane, comedian extraordinaire, to the show.
Thanks.
And as usual, we are coming to you live from Studio B, right behind Garden Gate Tea Room here in the district area of downtown Granite City. Kim, how you doing?
Real good. Real good. How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Where'd you spend it? And what was your favorite food?
So I spent it with Rebecca's family, which is very nice. We actually went to Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving, which I was amazed that they were even open, to be honest with you. So, but my favorite part of it, hold on, let's get to my favorite food. Okay. My favorite food I had was actually the hash brown casserole at there. Now, I will say it was nice that Rebecca's mom and dad, took into consideration that I'm diabetic, and, they bought a sugar-free or no sugar added apple pie. And they even made like a ham that didn't have all the glaze on it and stuff. And I got to tell you, that was really touching to me that, that I was considered that much and that they put that much effort into
that
it.
is
So,
cool.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. My favorite part of it, though, was in the evening when we all just kind of sat around and played games for the night. So that was cool.
Very cool.
How about yours?
We spent it at my sister's for the first time since COVID.
Okay.
So that was really good. I think my favorite probably always is and always going to be is however the yams come out, the sweet potatoes. Sometimes they're in chunks with, the pineapple and the cherry. Sometimes they're masked as like a mashed potato.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. That's what I look forward to.
So your motto is I eat, therefore I am.
Yeah. Oh, bada bing. Okay.
I've got to throw them out there every once in a while. I mean, if you're going to set them up, I'm definitely going to toss it out there.
Absolutely.
So people can get a little glimpse of my humor.
Mm-hmm.
So Engineer Bill, how about you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Spent it at my sister's. It was relaxed. It was kind of nice. Didn't have to travel. It's what I look forward to hating every year is travel.
Travel? Yeah, travel can be a real pain, let me tell you.
It was really good.
Turkey or ham?
They had both because I guess there's picky people. I'll eat either as long as you don't make the turkey, a dry hockey puck. I'm good with that.
There's nothing worse than waiting all day for a nice, delicious, juicy turkey to bite into a chunk of chalk.
Yeah.
Get yourself a glass of water. You're going to need it.
That's so. Now, my mom has gotten much, much better over the years. When she cooks and stuff like that for Thanksgiving and that. Now, my mom is a good cook, but man, there were a couple of years that turkey was NHL quality. I'll go there with Bill. NHL quality.
This is
sure.
the first year I did not have pumpkin pie, and I'm kind of regretting that.
Yeah?
Why?
There was just so many things to pick from, and my sister had made a pineapple upside down cake, and it just looked perfect. And I was just like, I'm having a whole square with the entire ring.
Nice.
Yeah, I went for that and just never got back in there and I'm like, dang.
Now, when you say a whole square, you're talking about like a 10-inch by 10-inch square?
Yeah, I
talking like
wish.
a small,
Just a little
square?
ring of, just the full ring with the cherry in it.
Gotcha.
And it was perfect looking pineapple upside down cake.
Right.
The brown, the sugar, just everything about it. And it was as good as it looked.
Very cool. Very cool. Did you guys do anything else fun this weekend? Or,
No.
long weekend for most of us.
Nope. I've been on vacation and I've been getting caught up and doing stuff around the house, and that's about it.
I always take a road trip around this time of
Yeah,
year.
how'd that go?
It was a lot of fun. We chose Cleveland, Ohio. Um,
It's an odd vacation destination, but
exactly. However, it has so much. Lake Erie. I've never seen Lake Erie. I couldn't believe how big it was, and that's just from looking in one
did it
spot.
rock?
It's like
Because
the
I hear that
ocean.
Cleveland rocks.
Oh my
Cleveland rocks.
gosh.
Listen,
He already needs to be cut off.
yeah, I see that already.
Yep.
Speaking of which, yes, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was something to see.
Nice.
It was very nice. It was really cool.
All right. Very cool. So I actually got to meet Rebecca's brother this weekend. He's a pastor out in Jupiter, Florida. And he was invited to come in and to do like a special guest preaching over at Rebecca, her sister's church is where it was at. And I got to tell you, it was a pretty solid right on message. And it was nice to meet him, in person. I met him over Facebook Messenger, video or whatever. I got to meet him, that way. That was pretty cool. And then
Messenger, is that a part of Facebook?
Yes.
it is.
It is. Okay.
It's owned by Meta.
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 Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
Meta is the mega company now that, so
The evil company, right?
yeah, the evil company. Yes, which we'll get into that a little bit later on. Yeah, some of you got a good dose of what I was talking about last year or last week on there, but we're going to get into that. We'll get into it even more after December 4th because we're going to have kind of a show that's going to kind of lay out the future of the In the Metro podcast, So yeah, I got to meet Rebecca's brother.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Chuck's got plans.
I mean, hello.
No, we got plans. Remember, we're gonna have a meeting, right?
We have a meeting.
I
Yeah.
didn't know we were going to do it on the air.
No.
You said we're having a show.
After the show.
Oh,
after
okay.
the show.
Like we're going to debate this stuff live. That's
No,
gonna be
after the
cool.
show.
I think that. What do you think? Almost hockey.
We're gonna have a live debate. I mean, there's nothing to debate. I mean, so
If
but
we're
anyway,
gonna do that, we have to do it like presidential style. We got to get up and
There we go.
listen.
ladies and gentlemen,
Your
my
foreign
name is
policy
Chuck Hill, and
sucks.
I am running for podcast leader of Granite City.
Because issues are huge.
They're
I
huge.
do have very huge issues for sure.
People are saying his issues or solution. They're issues.
Yes, I definitely have issues going on for sure.
And
But-
where would these issues be made at? In China?
China. Not China, it's China.
Did you say China?
China. It's a huge country.
I
Huge
can't-
country run by huge
can't.
people.
Huge.
Short, huge people.
Listen, my hands are plenty big enough. Okay.
So yeah, and the last thing, a very good friend of mine, almost 50, not quite yet though. We had a party for her, Friday night karaoke party, which was pretty cool. So that was kind of my weekend in a nutshell.
Ah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I had a good weekend, a very blessed weekend. It's always awesome to be surrounded by people that you love and people that care about you, and yeah, just some good stuff there. So yeah, good things happening. So some of you know that I give credit where credit is due, right? I give props to the small businesses and things like that here in the area. And, sometimes I just really have to feel that when you're getting crappy service, I think is probably the most okay way to put this, you need to call it out also. Because while I think that businesses need to thrive in this town, I do think that some of them need to kind of, be called out and put on notice because as a lot of you know, my biggest thing is I just want decent customer service in here. A while back, I talked about another place located up Namioki Road that's very famous for serving roast beef sandwiches, right? So anyway, I was at I drove through a place that's very famous for serving a particularly fried chicken.
In a bucket?
It's very very regional, down here. So, I pull up there, and this is my show, so I do get to bitch, I pull up here, and I'm looking at the board, I'm like, I'm just wanting something to kind of, haul. What? Anyway, so I pull up to this place. Oh my gosh. I pull up to this place to order something. I'm not sure what I want. All I wanted was 5 chicken strips. That's it. Didn't want to spend a lot of money. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. I just wanted 5 chicken strips. Okay. So I see there's a meal for 5 chicken strips. I'm like, I don't want the meal. I'm not that hungry. I don't want to spend a lot of money. Just want 5 chicken strips. And I did ask, do you guys still carry a seasoned potato wedge? No, we don't carry that. Okay, cool. Do you want fries? I do not want fries. Okay, so I said, no, thank you. I'm good. Anyway, so I ordered the 5-piece, and she asked me again if I want a side or a drink or anything like that. I'm like, no, I just want the 5 chicken strips. Now, in all fairness, I said, I just want 5 chicken strips. That's all I wanted. All right. I roll up to the window. First of all, the clerk says, pull forward. I don't get a total, don't get a dollar amount or anything like that. Clerk says, pull on forward. So I pull forward. She says, that'll be $13.49.
Whoa.
After I pick my jaw up from my car floor, because I've just been charged $13.50 for 5 chicken strips, I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I pay it. I'm looking at my receipt, and I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. So I pull into the drive. What they did was they charged me for a 3-piece tender and a 2-piece tender. Okay. So I go inside. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I didn't order a 3-piece and a 2-piece. I ordered a 5-piece. Well, if you want the 5-piece, apparently you have to order the meal. And you want to know what? When you order the meal, it's actually less expensive than what if you bought 5 chicken strips. Okay. So I'm like, can I speak to the shift manager? The shift manager comes up with an attitude, I might say, comes up, and I'm like, this is what happened. Why was I rung up this way? Well, you have to buy it in 2 separate orders. And I'm like, okay. I'm looking at your board right here. And if I'd gotten a meal, it would have been less money, And she's like, well, you didn't order the meal. You ordered 5 chicken strips. Okay, fair point. And so I'm like, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and talk to the store manager. When will they be in? They'll be in Friday morning. I'm like, okay. And she looks at this guy next to her, and she turns around and walks back, and he walks over and identifies himself as a manager. Keep in mind, this guy is dressed in street clothes. Don't know if he's a manager or not. So anyway, I'm like, okay. So I'm like, he asked me, he's like, I heard the conversation. I'm like, okay, great. He's like, do you want a refund? What do you want? I'm like, no. I'm like, I really don't want the refund. What I want decent customer service. I'm like, if the drive-through girl would have explained to me, hey, you know what? You can get 5 pieces of chicken for less money. Plus you can get the sides also. Okay, awesome. Was that done? Absolutely not. He's like, well, we give people what they order here. And I'm like, well, that's probably debatable, from other situations, whatever. Then he asked me how often I come there. I'm like, I don't come too often, I'll go here or I'll go to the other chicken place in town, if I want chicken. I'm going to cut this shorter anyway. So then he says, okay. I said, I don't want the money back. Really, all I want in this whole town is decent customer service. Do you know what this guy has the balls to say to me? He looks me right in the eyes and he says, you know what? If we had decent customers, we would give decent customer service.
Okay.
I just looked at him. I'm like, did you really just say that to me? And he just like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, then. So I left, and I'm like, I didn't want my money back. I just wanted someone to say, look, here's what you could get for less money. The same thing you're ordering for, give the drink to someone else, toss the fries or whatever, but I'm going to save you $2 here, And I was just like, so anyway, they will not be getting my business again. And I'm just like, I'm kind of done with that. It's kind of like the whole Facebook thing. We'll talk about that later on again or whatever, but it's almost to the point of, does my little act of rebellion make a difference? No.
Mm-hmm.
Does my excluding myself from Facebook make a difference? No. But if I do it and other people do it, if you stop feeding into the machine and stop participating in the game will change. When enough people, Budweiser knows that when they did the whole marketing thing, last year, something like that, enough people said, you know what, we're not participating in this. So we're done. And what happened? Budweiser changed their game, so that's why I bring this information up here, because this is a platform that I have the ability to talk about things. And it is a platform that I can share things and my actions. I'm not asking for 7,000 people to drop Facebook. I'm not asking for 7,000 people to, not shop at this particular chicken joint again. But if you're having the same issues, it's not going to change until it's changed one by one. And finally, as one by one, we make a group, then maybe it'll change.
Somebody on Facebook says, save yourself the trouble and go to McDonald's on Johnson Road. The store's 100%. Sometimes.
Well, speaking of McDonald's downtown, I guess that's the downtown too, because it's not the district, right? District, I don't know.
I think it's technically, didn't we refer to it young as uptown?
Yeah.
Wasn't anything past Johnson Road,
okay.
uptown?
So the downtown has a lovely lady of age. I think her name is Sharon, something like that. If you have been through the drive-through, you know her. She is as spitfire as she can possibly be, as lovely as she can possibly be. And just recently, she's gotten a couple big shout outs on Facebook for her customer service. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Things like that need to be brought to the show's attention also. Absolutely. So you said her name is Cheryl?
I think it's Cheryl. If somebody out there has to know who I'm talking about. She's a little bit older. You just know. If you've been through there, you know. And it makes you want to tell somebody about her.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I give praise to the small businesses here, even some of the bigger businesses here, if they're doing decent and good stuff, so I think it's very important that, she gets recognition, up here. I think that's awesome.
I think that's what most of these food establishments are missing. Fast food's kind of been that realm of your first starter job, and not a lot of people stay there and make it their career. And I'm not expecting for folks to do that, but I remember when I was younger that there was usually always an older management staff there that kind of kept the order and kept things from like what you experienced, Chuck, from happening. Like I know that at any of the food places that I worked at, if some employee had said that to a customer, they would no longer be an employee there. Odds are that the person you're talking about will continue to be employed and nothing will happen.
Right.
But I've noticed as things go on that I think there's probably two problems. Number one, the lack of talented management there. And I get it. That's a money thing and people being willing to actually do it.
Yeah.
But then also I think that these places are adding way too many items to their menus and becoming way too overcomplicated to the point where speed of service and making it fast food has really just not been a thing anymore. I mean, when's the last time you went through McDonald's and didn't get pulled around and had to wait for another 10 minutes for your food? There's no speed of service.
Their sweet tea is so worth it.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
It's my favorite.
I'm
going to tell you where to get really, really, really good sweet tea. That's actually hit and run. Their tea over there, I'm addicted to it. Like, I'm not going to lie. And I don't drink the sweet tea, but I think it's called Camille or something like that, or Camilla's. And I'll get a 44-ounce unsweet with lemon packets and Splenda in it. It is the best tea I have ever had. Very good.
Try that.
So, check out
challenge accepted.
Yeah, I think Zach is the guy who is normally the guy I see. I mean, they've got all the people over there are great. Those guys know how to do customer service. They know the people come in. Most of the time when I pull through, they already know what I want, So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I appreciate that. So
I worked there for a very short amount of time back in the very early 90s.
Okay.
Like literally like 2 shifts.
All right.
Okay. Like 1.5. Like, okay. Like 1 shift and an hour into the next day. And I'm like, no.
Kind of like your one-term aldermanic.
Well, we don't know. I still got 3 more years of this.
Well, still one term.
What's the mayor have to say about that, Kim?
I don't know.
I'm surprised we haven't had
Has he been
kidnapped?
Oh no!
Is the mayor missing? Is he missing?
It's a James Patterson book.
Oh,
the mayor is missing.
Or it's like it's the next hangover.
Is he really gone?
There you go. Awesome. Okay. The voice you just heard, we're going to welcome to the show Mr. Ethan Crane. He is a local Granite City boy, born and bred, like most of us in this room, except for you. You were a Madison and Venice.
Madisonian.
Outsider.
An outsider, yeah. An outcast. So, I mean, I know Ethan from church. Ethan has actually been making his way around the St. Louis area and in the metro. doing the comedy circuit, and he's developed quite a little routine and everything. And we've asked him to come on the show tonight, just kind of talk a little bit about what his journey's been so far, and just kind of the experiences that he's had, and maybe throw in a wisecrack or two from there. But Ethan, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm really nervous. I got some bad news. I was so nervous. I took an edible before I started, and it hit me a lot harder than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So I'm really high right now.
Nice. Ought to be a great show then this evening, huh?
The good news is I'm not nervous. I'm just joking.
Seems like the edible does the trick.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. So what's going on, Ethan? You're kind of making the comedy rounds, and you just kind of switched your life a little bit, and
yeah, pretty much my whole life fell apart pretty much, and so I'm getting it back up. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm going through a midlife crisis, and this is it. And so I'm gonna go for midlife crisis.
I've been doing
might
that
as
for
well
the
make
last
it
20
good.
years.
Yeah. but yeah, so yeah, what I've been doing is I had this thing called conversion disorder, and so one of the things is my therapist taught me about like working on some goals. One of the goals I started working on was, hey, I'm going to write jokes, and I'm going to write jokes. I'm going to get on stage, and so right now we're here to the point where I am writing jokes and doing a lot of open mics. I did one like kind of show where they actually asked me to be there, so
yeah, nice.
One of these days I get asked to do it again.
It's always nice to be invited somewhere.
Yeah. But right now I'm just doing open mics. I go to the Funny Bone a lot. I try and get up there. It's a lot of fun. They got good crowds there. I go out to the Heavy Anchor over there in what do they call that? Over there by Bebo Mills.
Okay. Yeah.
And they have a open mic on Mondays, and that's just crazy. But yeah.
What's your response been?
It's been pretty good so far. I've actually been surprised. I get up there and people start laughing, and I've had rough nights, but always managed to get a laugh.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. It's scary as hell, but it's in a good way,
Yeah. So do you have a history of performing at all, or?
I did do drama back in high school.
Okay.
And I liked that. I enjoyed it a lot. I really liked the acting part of it. I didn't really like the whole scene of it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I got away from it though. And yeah, I've done ministry and preaching and stuff like that. So
okay.
Yeah. And
so why comedy? I mean, obviously, we all love to laugh. What kind of directed you to comedy and not some other type of performing art?
Well, I think the thing is like I always wanted to be a comedian since my second year in the third grade, and I think it's about the same time.
So you were the one. You were the one.
Yeah, I was the one. I think around about the same time when I did the second grade twice or third grade twice. That's when I realized, hey, I think I might just be a loser. And the good thing is like this is a good field for losers. But it's like the one way to make it work. But yeah, it's kind of like some people call it like what would you call it? I don't know what
kind of like a crutch, like if you're like dealing with stuff that it's kind of like or a coping mechanism, I guess is probably.
I guess you could call it like you could people call it recovering alcoholic. I'm like a recovering loser. Okay. So it's kind of like I'm back on the Volkswagen. You're like, why Volkswagen? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, well, being back on the wagon makes no sense either. So it's all.
There it's all you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's that you make a very good point there. So when you go out to these, I guess let me ask, how do you even hear about a lot of these opportunities? Did you like start searching them out, or like what was the catalyst for this for you?
Well, it's really the neat thing about it is like really anyone can do it if like you're not willing to just go up and do something scary. Like I know the Funny Bone, for example, they're in St. Louis, they're in Maryland Heights at the Westport Plaza. They have a open mic there, and if it's your first time, you get to automatically go up. So,
that's awesome.
So like,
nice.
That's one of my favorite things about performing there. When I get to go up, is that because not everyone gets to go up. It's kind of you got to wait your turn to kind of get the better comedians up there. But
yeah,
first timers get to go their first time no matter what, and I just love watching the first timers.
Okay, was it like scary as hell when you first went up there your first time? Like,
oh yeah, I shit my pants. But it was not on stage, but it was earlier before. But I took care of it, got cleaned up, got there though. But yeah, like I get really nervous sometimes, and my stomach starts doing things to me. And
maybe that's the day you should have had an edible.
Yeah. Well, I had an edible that day too, but I think I've done it without an edible yet.
Not a strong enough one though.
No,
Right.
but
Right.
the one thing I did realize is that
So like it's like shits and giggles then.
Yeah,
right?
shits and giggles.
Oh,
You know?
well played.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
he's the comedian on the show
It's
tonight,
good, though.
right?
it's hard following you guys. You guys are funny, but I think one of the things I did realize through all that was that people are kind of like farts. The older I
Farts
get,
are
the
always
less.
funny.
Yeah, the older I get, the less I trust them.
Yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah.
We have a question up here. Tim is asking, says a guy that he knows, one of his friends, Justin, he's the other host of Mostly Hockey. They say they disagree on crowd work from comedians. He's asking how you feel about crowd work.
Oh, crowd work. It's kind of has to be a natural. I mean, for me, it's just natural. Sometimes I just start talking to the crowd and just working with them.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite comedians, you got people like Don Rickles, Andrew Schultz, guys like that. Like they're really good at working the crowd. They're like brilliant at it. Like you watch them work a crowd. Rodney Dangerfield was great working a crowd.
Yeah.
You watch them work a crowd. Just like these guys sold their soul to the devil because like they're just brilliant, just coming up so quick. So actually, I think that's probably one of the harder things. I'm more of a joke writer, but I do like to in the moment like to interact with the crowd.
Okay, so you kind of enjoy that kind of, do you have much interaction so far? Or?
I always have some kind of relationship with the crowd, no
Okay.
matter what. Like how they're reacting, some of the jokes they're saying, or some things I might say, or I might get a reaction on someone. So I do interact. It's almost like a relationship. It makes it so much better when the crowd's there and it's intimate and you can kind of see them. I like that.
Have you had one of those times where you tell a joke and man, you just think it's the funniest thing you've ever written before, and all of a sudden you hear crickets?
Oh yeah, I got a few of those. I I write a lot of bad jokes. I got like dad humor but jokes I can't tell my kids pretty much. But yes, I got a lot of bad jokes. But yeah, it's funny. I have this one where it's kind of like, hey, my name's Ethan Crane. You might be confusing me for Ethan Heron.
Oh.
And like I never get I always want to get a good reaction out of that one.
You got Kim.
I got you guys.
There you go. Camera's on.
I think that's the best response that one's ever got. But I love that one. But
does the mayor like it, Kim?
Well, I don't know. Oh, look, he didn't get kidnapped after all.
You can't
How
see
you
him.
doing?
He's off camera.
Yeah,
That's
well,
fine.
he's always off camera.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold it. You want to ask him yourself?
What'd you think, Mr. Mayor?
No comment?
No
Okay.
comment. All right.
The mayor very rarely gives a comment when he's on the show.
I didn't know the mayor was going to be here. It's impressive.
Hey, hey, we rub elbows with the greatest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, things are moving up for me.
He's got no elbows. Oh
He
no.
got no elbows.
So who have some of your inspirations been? Like, so for me, George Carlin, top of the hill, and Robin, Robin Williams is great. Also, one of my favorite comedians, such a short lifespan, was Mitch Hedberg.
Oh yeah, he was brilliant.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if there's ever been a more deadpan comedian that's just been absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
At the way he delivers it.
Yeah, I love his ability to like tell some like really just like kind of like off the wall left turn jokes. I love it. I just love his I love his joke writing style. I try to write jokes somewhat like his, but it's tough writing jokes like him. He's good. He's really good.
Yeah, his delivery. Do you know who we're talking about? No, you have to YouTube this guy.
I will.
You're gonna die laughing. I want you back here next week, of course. So I don't want you to actually die laughing. But I mean, he is so funny. He's got one line. He was like, rice is really great when you want to eat 10,000 of something.
I think my favorite one of his is like, I went to a doctor. I don't think I'm paraphrasing. I'm probably gonna butcher it. But anyways, it's like, yeah, I don't like my doctor. I'm never going back to Dr. Acula again.
I remember that one. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty. But yeah, he just has all sorts of stuff. Like I totally butchered that. Sorry, Mitch. God rest you.
So who were your inspirations, Ethan?
Mitch is one. I like his. I really like Norm Macdonald a lot.
Yeah.
I really like his. I like his quirky, weird jokes. They're kind of like sometimes he likes to throw a bad joke out there just to mess with everyone because it's part of his thing,
And he's got it written on his face. He knows it's bad before.
Oh yeah.
It.
And like he just and like the thing I love about him, especially being a new comedian, is like he's not polished at all. Like he comes up, he stumbles over his words, he messes up, he goes back and stuff. But somehow when he does it, it's just great. It's brilliant. I love his approach. I think he's one of the greatest comedians of all time. I like people like Louis C.K. I like his honesty. I like, Rodney Dangerfield. I love that, he was in his 40s when he came back to it. And he is divorced, and he was selling aluminum siding, and he's like, I'm going to try it again. And he became, at age 40, he became big. And then by the time he was like almost 60, he was like starring in movies all over the place. And just like it's just kind of like, you're never too old to give up. And I definitely like Don Rickles a lot.
Okay.
I love his ability to be able to like just roast anybody. So yeah, I like a lot of comedians. There's a lot of great ones out there. One of the new comedians I really like is what's his name? Gillis. I can't remember his name. I guess I didn't like him that much. But Shane Gillis, I think that's his name. Gillis? But I really like his authenticity, and I really try and bring that to the stage as being authentic.
Yeah. Do you know who Shane Smith is?
No.
He's this guy who's got tattoos everywhere. Like, he used to be a gang member, and he wears his glasses are very similar to yours.
Mm-hmm.
He has tattoos all over his face. You know, I mean, he's really funny because he talks a lot about his gangster years or whatever. And, you know, just like he talks about consequences, and he's like, look at me, I was a guy with no consequences. Like, you know, what did he say? I was watching something the other day. He was like, I don't care what future me thinks. I just care about what right now me thinks.
Yeah.
You know? So pretty cool stuff. So it sounds like some of your like inspirations, Don Rickles, Rodney Dangerfield, Louis C.K., you know, obviously a lot of those guys you're not going to see, you know, doing anything anymore. I mean, Louis C.K. was canceled, you know, like for doing inappropriate things or whatever. And Don Rickles, there's no way he would make it today, you know. When you're developing your material, do you concern yourself too much about cancel culture, or
no, not really. I don't care.
How would you define your material, I guess? And good for you.
Yeah, I think almost like we're in an era now where almost like cancel culture almost helps you right now. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to find that balance. I really love the comedians like Bill Burr. You know, he can just cross over that line, goes like a wrecking ball, go across the line, and everyone just loves him for it. You know, like I tried that a few times. It doesn't work with me. You start learning your personality. But you start learning your personality, I guess. And I think mine's kind of like I like to get close to the line and like kind of like cross over a little bit and then take a left turn real quick.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of my style. So I got a lot of jokes like that.
Yeah, you said something the other day about twins. I found that.
Oh yeah. I think I can go ahead and say that.
Yeah,
if you want. Yeah, I think. Let's see. I'll just do it. Kind of goes into a bit here. So I'll start off with this. I gotta. Can I just tell a joke a little bit? This is a little bit of my bit here. I'll go ahead and give you an example. Yeah. Did you know that Helen Keller and Anne Frank, they knew each other actually before the war? They actually met. Helen Keller came to Germany and she was visiting Anne Frank's town. Anne Frank volunteered with special needs people, especially deaf and blind people. And so they naturally got to know each other and became really good friends. And they used to play games together. Man, hope I'm not going too far on this. And they used to play games together. And one of the games we used to love to play was hide and seek. And that Anne Frank, she couldn't hide to save her life because Helen Keller found her every time. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I might be racist. Mainly against twins. I think they all look the same. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that's a little piece of it.
Even Bill got a nice little giggle out of that one.
I did better with the crane joke, the crane heron joke, like the one that never works. You guys are
You got Kim over there. That was a chuckle moment.
Yeah.
If you were going to describe your, like, everybody has, I think, their own style. Are you still kind of looking for your own style? Do you think you kind of found your groove and you just need to kind of refine it a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I got to refine it. I got a lot of refining to do. I'm new to this. I've been doing it for like 4 months now, and like things are happening. It's fun, you know. But I think the main thing is you got to find that you got to be a version of yourself. You got to be yourself. I think you got to be you. I think the comedians are most okay with like being like an authentic kind of what do you call that? Where you're I can't think the word, but like pretty much where you're putting yourself out there to be bare to the world, you know, to see like the thing, your insecurities, you know, you want to be insecure, you know, and show those things. I think that really helps just by being yourself. Like so many comedians, like I see them mess up by saying they try and be cool, you know, they want to be the cool comedian. I'm like, I can't be the cool comedian because I'm not cool, you know. I'm pretty much just like you just kind of like become comfortable with who you are and grab it and just throw it out there and just kind of be your silly self.
I love comedy shows. I love going and seeing that sort of thing. But it seems like there's one or the other. There's either the comedian that makes fun of himself or herself, which is always hilarious, or the one, and we just had him recently. It was a big deal where it makes fun of the people in the audience.
Mhm.
And there's a guy named Adam Hunter that I came across at Mall of America at their Funny Bone or whatever
Yeah.
it was called. And nobody in that audience was safe.
Yeah, I
but
love that.
it
Yeah.
was funny as it could be.
Mhm.
Do you happen to know or remember the comedian of recent 6 months where people were even marking themselves safe from him?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Do you, Engineer Bill?
Wasn't the Matt dude, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
He
that
just got
was
himself into some trouble.
that was a
though,
good.
so.
Oh, he did?
Oh yeah, he's blowing up though.
Domestic abuse joke
Yeah.
that he made that didn't go over well, and yeah.
I've been looking
I
at it.
thought he was funny.
Oh, he is, but he does a lot of crowd work. His
Yeah.
humor is kind of lost if you watch the Netflix special because there's not as much crowd work in that.
Oh, that's what you guys mean by crowd
Yeah.
work then.
Mhm.
I like his
Okay.
reels, him and Taylor Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Like they do a lot of crowd work, and it's really cool, to see
I
them
like
do
that.
Yeah.
What I don't like is hecklers. I
Oh,
don't like the
he had a way
audience
of dealing
back
with the
to
hecklers too,
them.
though.
I don't care for that kind of humor, but I like it coming the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a heckler is like some of the best stuff you'll see is like, because like no one wants to see a heckler, but man, every once in a while when a comic gets a hold of a heckler, it's like it's brilliant. It's just like they slice them apart, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, that poor heckler. But yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it when they get a heckler and they just.
Are you a Seinfeld fan at all?
Oh yes, I grew up on Seinfeld. I see the world in Seinfeld. I was watching Seinfeld last night, the night before. I just keep on watching Seinfeld. So.
I love the heckler episode there, where like Jerry's doing his bit,
Yeah.
and there's a heckler in the audience, and so what does Jerry do? He goes down to his job
Yeah.
and starts heckling.
That's
him
right, yeah.
at his own job.
Oh, it's a
good
great.
stuff.
It's a brilliant show. It's
That show, comedy gold. Like I really
Mhm.
do. Like when it first came out, it wasn't my cup of tea. I was just like, man, this show sucks. I don't want to watch this. And then, like I think I get into it around season 3 or 4, and I was just watching it, and I'm like, this show is awesome.
I loved it.
And then I went back,
Absolute.
and yeah, I mean, it was just the humor it had, and obviously everyone has their own favorite character. I think I related more to George,
Mhm.
than any of the other ones.
It's almost like they're almost like a piece of your personality. There's like a
Yeah.
Lane in you. There's a Jerry in you. There's a George in you. There's a Kramer in you. There's little pieces.
Yeah.
Like almost like they're parts. All of them are parts of my personality.
Well, it seems like those shows do much better because you have Seinfeld, which is an
Mhm.
ensemble cast, so no one was really above the other one. Then you had Friends.
Mhm.
Seinfeld was 9 seasons, Friends was 10 seasons, I think. How long was The Big Bang Theory? Was it 10 seasons also? 9 or 10
I
seasons?
think it's close, yeah.
I liked that one too. I didn't get into the Friends. Just I must have been busy on Thursday nights during that time.
They had a formula which worked. All 3 of them, they were ensemble. Everyone had equal parts where they did things. It wasn't really like when we were younger. The channel that had, I think it was ABC, the TGI Friday or something like that. Where they had all the sitcoms and everything like that. We had the Mom and Dad. You had the Tanners, and things like that. What was the Winslows? I think was that their name on Family
Matters.
Family Matters, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was. They were more family stuff, but then like the other shows were more adult oriented and like adult.
It was like family shows, cop shows, and ER drama shows.
Right.
It was like those were your things.
I think one of the comedies that was kind of like a pioneer that we forget about, like before Seinfeld kind of opened the door, was like Barney Miller.
Yeah.
I loved
Barney.
Yeah,
I
Barney
loved
Miller
Barney
was
Miller.
before its time. I don't think I really understood it at the time, but like looking back on it, I'm going, oh wow, these guys are it's really good.
Yeah,
really
it
good.
was.
So as far as your future goes and kind of what you're looking at, do you want to be in like TV and movies and that? Do you want to write for TVs and movies? Do you want to just kind of do the stand-up thing? Or
Yeah, I definitely don't want to be famous or rich or like
that
get a
would
lot
be
of attention
terrible.
from women, anything. I don't want any of that. But yeah, I mean, like whatever the world wants to throw at me, I'll take it. Right now, really, what I'm doing is it's just like I get a new goal and I work on it. Like I got a goal right now. I'm not even going to say it out loud, but because I don't want to put it out there. But anyways, but yeah, so I guess get goals and I work toward those goals. Once you that goal, and I make a new goal, and that's one of the things. That's what comedy things I'm doing with my therapy and everything is like it's been helpful. But yeah, I mean, right. One of the things I really want to do right now is I really want to get a comedy scene more on the Metro East Side. They have like 9-10 open mics over in the St. Louis side throughout the week. There's none over here. Ronaldo Mercado. Sorry, I messed that up. Ronaldo Mercado. He's starting to do comedy at Tegan's here in Granite. He's bringing over killers, man. These guys are good. Like I watched last time I went to the show. I'm like, I can't do comedy no more. These guys are too good.
I saw that out there about Tegan's. There are gonna be 4 comedians out there, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think that's December 8th. So I have nothing to do with it, but I want people to hear that because it's really good. You should check it out. And actually, the one thing about Granite City too, I wanted to get a Granite City comedy scene going because like last Tuesday I played at the Funny Bone, and they had about 16 comedians go up there, and 4 of them are from Granite City.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone we might know? Or
well, there's Ronaldo. We just mentioned him. He's really good. The guy is like he's going out and he's touring around a little bit and going to some really great venues that I would just he'd just love to be able to play. And then there's Nick Kuvar. I don't know him. He's really funny. He's a great comedian. I've known him for a long time. He's been kind of inspiring to me and kind of watching him just do comedy. I'm like, man, I know someone's doing comedy. It's really neat. How I could never do that, But and then there's Anthony Schaefer. Anthony Schaefer. He's another guy from Granite, and he's really good too. He's at the Funny Bone all the time, and they put him up a lot. But yeah, there's some great. Granite City just seems like the right type of town for stand-up comedians.
All right. Yeah. Well, it sounds like maybe you guys should maybe get together and you can be like instead of the 4 horsemen, the 5 horsemen, or something like that.
Yeah. I'm talking to someone about starting up maybe some comedy nights out in Wood River. And then I'm trying to find a place here in Granite that could be good for a comedy night. I really want to do open mics, but also I want to do shows. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So what can people do to support you, Ethan? I mean, you're obviously looking to get your name out there. Like, do you have like shows, or do you have any open mics that you're planning to be a part of? What's that scene look like for you?
Well, I'm pretty bad at the whole social media thing. I got a Facebook group I started. That's about as far as I've gotten. I don't know, maybe I'll start a MySpace just to be punk rock or something. Just as the joke, so I don't want to do it. Like I'm starting a MySpace page. That way no one will get on it.
Hey, it's retro, man.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about these days.
But one of the things so you can go to my Facebook page. It's called Something Funny About Things That Aren't Funny, Ethan Crane Comedy.
Nice.
And so you can check that out, and I kind of post there. So weekly I'm posting what I'm doing that week. Tomorrow I will be at the Funny Bone. I'm going to try and get on. If I get there and I know that there's people that are there to see me like guests, and they automatically put me on. And then other than that, it's just kind of like whether or not they want to hear me, or wwhether or not it's been a long time. And eventually they just feel sorry for you and put you on. but
this guy's been here for 12 years.
but that Funny Bone out there in Maryland Heights, that place, there's some nights you go out there, man, it's like $5 at the door, $1 you pay online. It's like you get your money's worth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's a great place. Take a date or some friends, and there's some really good comedians working their stuff out there, and you get to see them just really work it out, and it's cool.
All right, very cool. Cool.
Yeah, get on my Facebook page, and I'll try and do something different.
Something funny about things that aren't funny.
Tim says he should do a comedy podcast.
Oh yeah,
I did do a podcast for a little bit. I tried that when I was a truck driver. I'd be over the road. I'd work all day, and I'd get in the back of the truck, and I'd make a video and stuff, and I was just too tired. Too stressful. Like what you're doing here.
You go to jail for things like that now.
Yeah. But like what you're doing here this is cool, man. This isn't like some Joe Rogan starter kit, man. You guys are doing good, man. It's like I feel like I'm on Tim Pool or something.
Nice. Well, appreciate that. Brenda's done a really great job of welcoming us in here and making sure that we have what we need for everything in here. And Bill does a great job of producing the show on a weekly basis. So yeah, appreciate you seeing that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did write a joke for you for you guys tonight.
Oh, all right.
And I'm gonna see. It's probably really bad. I'm dedicating it to Nick Drago, actually. But it's probably I'll throw it. It's in my phone here. Let me get it out.
Our fam.
Yeah. Our fam. Yeah. Nick is
So-
no longer just a co-host. He's family here.
His family.
So it's really bad. So that's bad. You don't like it. It's Nick Drago's fault. So
Oh, gotcha.
So-
All right.
anyways, I'm thinking I'm gonna with all the whole conspiracy theories and our watches and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna have to get me a burner phone just for my TikTok account.
Nice.
See, that was bad. Blame Nick. I got bad ones. So
Awesome. Well, Ethan, thank you for being on the show tonight. I definitely appreciate it, man. I've been just kind of, we're friends outside of here, and I've been kind of following your journey. And I think that, man, you're definitely going to go some places, obviously, keep putting that nose to the grindstone and
Yeah.
making the rounds, because I know there's some comedians out there that they just give up, and
Mhm.
I want to encourage you not to do that.
Well, thank you.
If you tell the bomb jokes or whatever,
Mhm.
some of them, there are comedians out there that sucked eggs for years, before they can actually, make the breakthrough. So I wish you the best of luck on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, man. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you stopping by this evening.
Yeah.
So cool.
Very funny.
Yeah. Got any other plans this weekend?
Well, it's the parade.
Yep.
I
Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday. I'm actually first time ever in a parade.
Oh, you're going to be in the parade?
Yeah, on the Alderman float,
Okay.
which might be just
They're actually going to let you crawl up there with them?
I am certified now.
Well, you're definitely certifiable. We know that. We know you're.
I saw that coming a
certifiable.
mile away. Oh my gosh.
Listen, I get to participate in the reindeer games now. Once in a while, like maybe.
You gonna take the mayor with you?
Mayor, would you like to go? Oh, hey,
You could put him on a
he is
stick.
like
You could.
Wait,
Make
where
sure
you
he's
at?
wearing
There he
his.
is.
Make
No,
sure he's wearing
listen.
his district
Get
shirt
over
also.
here. Get over here. All right.
That actually looks like he's sidling up to you right now.
It really does.
Hi, how are you? I think he's probably like the master of the parade. Are you the master of the parade? I guess I am.
Oh,
What do
Yes.
they call it? Grandmaster.
Oh,
Grandmaster. Yeah.
Grandmaster. Not to be
Yeah.
confused with.
Grandmaster Funk.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right. All you got to do is just come on the show and we'll put him away.
Yep.
Oh, no. Dear Kim, we are never putting the mayor away. Nobody puts the mayor in a corner. Just not going to happen.
Oh,
It's
boy.
the only way you're getting the shirt.
Unless he
You
gets an
just
injunction.
Come down.
If he gets an injunction, then we may not have much of a choice. I think that's about the only way you can legally cancel
Cease and
us. but,
desist.
Yeah, it's being typed up right now.
Probably.
Probably.
Oh, well, sorry, bud.
Kathy's little fingers are working their fingers to the bone. So, we have any comments from tonight's show? Anyone? Anything that we need to?
No, I said them as they were coming along, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we have some dates up there. We do have some things coming up, like you'd mentioned.
Yes.
Let's start with the one that's coming up closest. Seeing Gloria this Thursday night. Going to be the Master's Voice Choir over here at First Presbyterian United. First United Presbyterian Church.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to go to that church for another performance a couple weeks back. It's the first time I'd ever been in the building. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful church.
It is.
Don Stratton and London Kimball were singing. I am extremely looking forward to this. I think I'm going on the 1st.
Okay.
There's 2 nights of it, as I recall.
Yeah, it says Thursday, November 30th at 7 and Friday, December 1st at 7 also. Doors open at 6.
Yeah,
No
definitely
tickets
going.
required. They're just going to take your free will offering. So, that's nice. It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
The holiday season seems to be when people, get into most giving
Mhm.
of times. I think they say giving is up like 20%, during this time of the year. I mean, hell, maybe it's even higher than that. I don't know.
Are people having to take out second mortgages on their house? To get-
Second mortgages, looking for those end of year tax breaks,
Right.
Everyone has their own incentives.
Beef it up to get that in for good old Uncle Sam before they
Right.
raise the tax rate again.
Right.
We
Well,
were at a Walmart in Ohio recently. And
what's wrong with our Walmart?
Oh, wait a hope. Ohio doesn't go to find a good Walmart.
Ohio. It was a young couple. I'd say they were probably in their early 30s. And they were walking the opposite direction. So we just kind of overheard the conversation. But everywhere you walk, there was just big screen TVs on,
Yep.
big screen
Of
TVs.
course.
And the
That's the
gentleman
status
of the
symbol of
couple
life.
said, enough with we already have the big screens. Put the groceries on sale.
No kidding. Somebody on TikTok said that too. They're like, listen, you want Black Friday to go over well? Do it in the
Yeah.
grocery store.
Right.
I thought, well, okay. Yeah, he's not wrong.
Mm-mm.
I need some taters this weekend. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, the Master's Voice Choir, and they're really good. Actually, I hear them. I've heard them a couple years. I know quite a few people who are on that choir. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a great show that they're gonna put on there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So
And then, of course, the parade and all the activities. There's a lot of things that are kicking off. The Elf Walk,
And so all that's on December 2nd.
right?
So you have the concert Thursday or Friday, whichever night you want to go to. December 2nd, Elf Walk starts at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Parade at 2:30.
Right, parade at 2:30, and that is done by the Granite City Area Community Foundation,
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy there's even an organization like that in our town.
Yeah, me too.
Which is really nice. Yeah, so we got Candy Cane Parade at 2:30. Then that heads downtown where they're going to have Elf Walk, Mistletoe Market. I did see someone earlier, actually on one of the Edwardsville groups, ask if there were any kind of markets or anything going on.
Oh, cool.
This weekend. So that would be great. Come down and patronize those vendors that are going to be down there because they are the epitome of small business.
Right.
Down there. If you like Christmas caroling,
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
And the Living Nativity.
Yeah, those are always fun.
I have never been to one.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to that also. And then, of course, the Big Jolly Man. He's going to go into the cinema and all your little children get them
That
pictures.
guy in a red suit's going to give all the kids candy canes.
Yep.
And pictures. That'll be nice.
I was starting to go into that and I thought, well, that's really sounding creepy. So I just stopped.
Probably a good call. So, what I like about our town also that I think is really cool is the fact that we can have a live nativity scene in the center of the park, not too far from City Hall. And we don't have a bunch of people out there screaming, separation, church and state, separate. I mean, it's awesome, to live in a city that, that it's okay to have that out there, that people aren't going to throw a big fit or anything and just say that, it's a city sponsored thing. And I mean, it's nice that we're going to be able to have that this year.
And then there's, of course, the windows at Judy Knapp's Floral Shop.
Mm-hmm.
The
Revival.
Yes,
Yep.
the Revival. Those windows, I talked about it last week. Get a chance, see those. The arcade is hopping. That's going to be a fun thing to do. Might be a great place
down there
to maybe get in and spend a half hour in there, warm up a little bit in between the different activities.
Yeah.
The Mill, they're hosting Mary at the Mill. It's if you're familiar with last year's pop-up Tinseltown, this is the same. It works the same as far as getting reservations, but it will be at the Mill this year.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful venue.
What's going on at Tinseltown this year?
I don't believe there's anything in that building.
Okay.
Hopefully that's not going to be the case for long, but I love that building. It's such a cornerstone. I hope something goes in.
It's the old Laclete's restaurant.
Yes.
LaSalle's.
Huh?
LaSalle's.
LaSalle's. Thank you. And it was the same and long before then, right?
Yes. Yep.
Very cool. Yeah.
I would love to see a restaurant go in, of course. A steak place, just the basic steak, salad, potato.
Mm-hmm.
But
old school.
Right.
Old school like the old school.
Yeah. But that's just wishful thinking on my part.
All right. Well, you're an alderman. You got sway and you got pull.
I got invited to the parade.
So, well, I mean, I think the last thing on my list of things just to kind of, get out there is, Celebration Community Church, December 17th. We're going to, there'll be obviously a service there or whatever, but afterwards, I will actually be doing free family photos and family portraits there.
Good for you.
So yeah, it's something that we just kind of do every year for people. So, if you're needing family photos, basically the way it works is come to the church, attend the service, and then afterwards, bring your family. We'll be taking pictures there, and then you can just download them. So that way you can have them printed wherever you want. So you're not waiting on anyone for prints or anything like that. And again, it's free, no charge, to come on down for that. So that's going to be on December 17th is when we're going to be doing that there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Yeah, me too.
Quite a bit going on here, which is nice. Rebecca will have her daughter this weekend also. So
we'll be seeing you down at the Civic Park area, right?
I think we will be down there at least for a little bit because I do have a full day of commitments that morning. Like I do breakfast with Santa at St. Charles Christian Church every year for them. Again, family photos, things. Those are not free, so that's just kind of a side hustle for me each year. I help the church out over there, and they help me out, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then I've got a commitment that evening. So I'm hoping that in between those that I can manage my time well enough to come down here and join in the festivities, because we'll definitely be back in time for the parade. I'm looking forward to it. Anything big going on, Mr. Bill? What?
High School Musical.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
You can
High
probably
School-
read that better than I can.
I cannot.
All right, hold on one second. I want to step away from the desk.
Okay, High School
There you go.
Musical, December 8th through the 10th and December 15th through the 17th. I am looking forward to that.
And that is going to be at Alfresco, correct?
Right, at the Alfresco.
Is Michelle directing that?
No,
Who's directing that?
don't know. I know who isn't.
You know who
That
isn't?
helped.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Well, sometimes that's just as good as knowing who is.
the usual suspects
Oh.
are not.
Oh, they're not.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So-
I think I just saw Michelle's post about it. So maybe-
Well, on the board, the heart and soul down there.
Gotcha.
She's going to be everywhere.
She is definitely dedicated down there, which is awesome.
And a voice on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love to hear her sing.
Got to perform with her 2 years ago, I think. Not actually with her, but when we did the Christmas concert a couple years back, and I got to sing with Shelby.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So,
right. I was
yeah,
there. Yeah.
that was
And
pretty
it just
awesome.
must be hereditary. I don't know, because I don't know about her family before her, but she has passed that gift to both of her daughters.
I've never heard Grace, but Kai has got a voice like you wouldn't believe.
Grace does too.
Does she? I don't think
Yes.
I've heard her sing. I don't
No.
know. Maybe I have.
She has more of the acting bug
Yeah.
than
I have seen her perform.
right. And Kai has got the chops, so to speak, but they both can hold their own with a tune.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe a mother-daughter's act is in the works or something.
Absolutely, like you and Shelby did. That was probably one of my most memorable things
Yeah.
to watch, because you were barely holding it together, and the rest of us knew how you guys were feeling.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I
Yeah.
don't, Michelle, you need to do that.
Yep. Probably one of the highlights of my life that night.
Aw.
Yep.
Aw. Aw.
So, all right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Definitely appreciate it. If you're catching us on my personal page tonight, I do invite you to check out the In the Metro Facebook page. You can catch it on there, and you'll always be able to catch it on there. I also recommend that you catch us on 6240 LLC, which most of you are watching from tonight.
And we
And-
still like Facebook there.
Yeah. Well, okay. I won't speak on
Dang,
that
Kim.
part.
That's a
She-
low
she's
jab
your-
right there.
She's your primary admin on that one. And then also, we have a growing podcast network here, also the GCRX podcast, our network right now, in the Metro broadcast from there. And it's hosted here inside Studio B, which is really great. The Mostly Hockey guys are broadcasting there also. So definitely check them out. And if you're looking to do your own podcast, Ethan, something to think about.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I'm thinking, man.
Look
Yep.
no further.
It's
Yep.
doable.
If you're looking to do your own podcast, we do have a couple other ones that are in the works. So if you haven't liked GCRX Radio, check them out over there, and definitely make sure that you subscribe to that page. We also now officially, this is our first
Yay.
YouTube live show that we're doing tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that, because it's another platform, and I'm sure that they are just as nonsensical as Facebook is when it comes to their community standards. However, I haven't experienced that yet. So, but yeah, keep an eye on the show, keep an eye on the pages. There are, again, we're going to have a podcast group meeting, here soon, and we're just going to talk about how the network is growing and some opportunities that are out there. And so, yeah, stay tuned to just kind of see what's going on. Any comments, Engineer Bill?
No, sir.
Any last words, Mr. Crane?
Better not.
Better not. All right, then.
That's
guys.
what Mark said.
Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We definitely appreciate it. And a special thank you to our guest, Ethan, for coming in tonight. And again, check us out back here again next Monday at 7:15.